At, thank you. Call us to order at 6:46. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Patrick, you'll be a voting member for this meeting.
Okay.
All right, and the first thing on our agenda is the public hearing.
Okay,
So-
want me to read the notice?
We'll open the public hearing, and Earl, please read the notice.
The Woodstock Historic District Commission will hold a public hearing on May 26th, 2021 at 6:30 PM for the Tremblays at 524 Route 169 for the driveway.
Thank you. So Bob, the way this will go is you'll tell us what you're proposing to do. We'll ask you questions. We have a little bit, and we'll keep that up until we feel we know whatever we need to, the information we need. And then we'll close our public hearing. If there was public here, then we would invite them to make comments and go and for if they had any, but I don't see anybody else here. So we'll just do the questioning with you. And then once we close the public hearing, then the commission members, we will deliberate and discuss ourselves, and then decide whether we're ready to make a determination and what that determination is. Okay. So, Bob, go ahead.
So
and
I heard most of that.
yeah, just tell us what while we've got you, tell us what you're proposing to do.
Okay. So I have a copper beech tree that sits to the left of my driveway. It's, if you've seen it, it's got a 21.5-foot circumference, and its root system is near to the ground. And I want to avoid driving over the roots, but my driveway right now is just straight, goes right back to my barn, and that's it. So to turn around or anything is difficult, and I do not like backing into that street, especially when Woodstock Academy is getting out. So I've decided that I want to make a turnaround around there's a stone wall already around that tree, and the turnaround would be just bordering that stone wall, going right around. So in other words, it'll look like the backwards letter P if you're looking at it from the road. So the tree to the left, again, coming from the road, you drive up, you'd go behind the tree and come out in front of it, or vice versa, however you wanted to turn around in there. And what I'm making the drive with, I originally was just driving on the grass, but it gets very muddy there, and I've actually got my van stuck there. So what I've done is put some millings that I bought from Provost Trucking, this is where Monahan was. And I've been getting millings and spreading them out as a driveway. Millings, I'm sure you know what millings are. They're just the milled ground remains of road work. So they ground to 3/4 inch or smaller, and they make like a nice looking drive, not so much a paved drive, but almost like a cart road type thing, and they serve the purpose.
Where are they? Where is that now? Where you got that?
It is. I'm sorry, you're cutting out. Where is what now?
Where are the millings? Where have you placed them?
Yeah, right before the tree and starting to go around it. So I'm about halfway up the circle.
Okay. All right, continue. I just didn't want to get too far before I forgot to ask.
Sure. And that's basically it. What happens is I driving over it hardens it, and then that'll be it. There's not a lot of work to it. There's not a lot of, it's not like I'm making your typical driveway where you need to put in under, you have to prep this underneath. This is just millings being placed on top so that I don't sink in mud in the springtime
Driving
and
over,
winters.
Can you explain the millings again? What were they from?
Yeah, it's from road work. I don't know exactly where Provost got them from, but whether it was from town work or what. But so when they grind up the road to repave it, they Okay, this thing keeps kicking me off and back on. So here I am again. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
Okay.
So are you going, the current driveway does it have paving on it?
Yeah, the current driveway is paved.
Okay, and you're gonna leave that the way it is, except for where you use some millings to fill in a little here and there?
Yeah, yes, the driveway wasn't put in properly. So what's happened over time is if you look at a cross section of that driveway, it looks like the letter W. I have two gullies that are pretty deep, and my daughter's black little Hyundai actually scrapes on it. So I had a similar problem with my mother-in-law's driveway, which I did the same thing there. I just filled in those gullies with millings to bring them up to the middle hump. And it's an inexpensive way as opposed to repaving. And because if they were to repave that, I imagine to do it correctly, they would be ripping up my whole driveway, prepping it correctly, and then putting down asphalt. And I'm not prepared to do that at this time.
All right.
You want to use the millings to go around the Copper Beach.
Yeah. In the copper, the millings, the start of the millings is probably about a 20. If you were to take the center of the Copper Beach and draw a radius, take a radius, the millings probably don't start till about, I'm going to say 20 to 25 feet from the beech tree, which is, first of all, there's already, when we bought the house, there was already a stone wall around that Copper Beach. It's kind of like a terraced. In other words, the Copper Beach has its own little lawn, but you can see the roots sticking up. Some of the roots are sticking up in the lawn and coming back down. And then there's the stone wall, and then it drops about a foot to the rest of my lawn. So that stone wall, all I'm doing is basically bringing the millings right up to the stone wall, just about to create the path.
Are the millings similar color to your driveway?
Yeah, yep, they're black.
What's it to keep the millings like? Because my understanding of that stuff, it's going to be kind of like a like processed gravel, almost like processed stone. What's
Yeah.
going to keep the edges uniform so it doesn't like move around on you as you drive on it?
Once they get packed down in, they'll be, it's not a perfect roadway. So once they're packed down in, they're not going to encroach any further than what they've been squished into. So I'm just going with.
And so they're just going,
grass.
yeah, they're just going onto your dirt or your grass, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, in the border is literally grass, then millings.
I would just be worried about that for your sake, the edge of that, because even when people use that on a road, you have a curb or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see it wandering. In fact, I've already had, I've done this in the past, not necessarily here, but other places, and it stays put pretty well. Especially it's not like it's on a hill. It's not going down a grade.
mhm.
All right.
All right, so I'm actually, if it's okay, if I can find, I actually got an aerial shot of it right here. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see it. How's that? Because you can actually see how you've been driving around it in this aerial shot.
Yeah, let me see. I'll have to go to it.
Oh, yeah.
So you see that?
Who's showing?
Yeah.
No, who's showing it here? I've got to scroll over.
That's Pat.
Pat.
Oh, yeah.
Can everybody see what I'm showing them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, Bob, the driveway, the drive path that you're proposing to do is going to be in the track, along the track that you've already created around the tree, correct?
Yes.
Okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
big. That's a pretty big circle, but
Okay, I see. I'm looking now. I just found it. Let's see. So where am I?
Tim, I think Tim's here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's it.
but the
Right where you
object,
see that path.
right, but the objective of what you're doing, if I understand correctly, is to protect the root system of
Yes.
that, one, to protect the root system of that copper bead,
Copper. Yeah.
and two, so therefore that makes sense that you've got to be pretty much outside the circumference of the tree, of the branches, and two,
Right.
to also make your driveway safer so that you're not backing onto Route 169.
Exactly. Especially, there are four, at this point, there's four drivers and three drivers in the household, soon to be four. So two of them are new. And, when they come in from work, they generally want to pull right in straight. And so put it this way, we've been using that to back into anyways. And then for me, I have a trailer that I use, so I just go, it's so much easier for me to just go right around that and back into the road safely forward.
So you can actually see the stone wall. You can actually see
Yep,
the stone wall that I was talking about right
exactly.
along the edge there.
Yep. And it goes right up to the barn, basically.
Right.
It meets the road again at the barn, actually, and it starts a little late. Yeah, right there where you have, that's about where it starts.
So Bob, if you are pulling into your driveway from Route 169, Pat, can you take your cursor and pull into his driveway from Route 169? So at what point, so it's coming along to this, so we start the path, right? Is this when you would pull on? You'd pull onto the path now if you were coming in? So that you
Right where you
circle,
see the tracks.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And then you'd follow along so that when you come back to your driveway, you're going to be pointing out towards 169. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about parking?
We've been just parking straight, nose in towards the barn on the driveway, and whoever needs to get out, they just have to finagle their way out. I've been actually parking my van down by the parallel to the barn. When I do, yeah, exactly, right there where your cursor. If you go along there, I actually come in where by the little bush on the left where they were talking about, and then I follow the track. I come back up, and then I back down by my driveway. That way, this thing is clear for the rest of the family members to just go around. So my van and trailer aren't blocking the whole route.
Right, and I assume that's, I don't know what other permissions you're going to need for this. And Pat, can you zoom out a little? Making.
Yep.
Okay, so and there's the pool, so that's it's good distance away from the next door neighbor's property line.
Oh, yeah.
Questions, Commission
Yeah,
members?
What else do you need from building or zoning to do that? Anything?
He's frozen again, I think.
Okay, so if anybody just said anything, I just went out and I'm back
we
in
wanted-
now. Uh,
The question was, do you need, whether or not you're gonna need something from planning and zoning to do that?
I haven't looked into that.
No, I'm sure, Pat, I would expect that the building, when he goes to the building official, that they'll point him in the right direction.
Yeah, we're fading out here.
All right. Commission members, other questions?
Yeah, so it's the
Right
millings.
now,
are
you
co-
sound like a piano. Sorry, it's just the sound quality right now is very poor.
Mhm.
It
Go
was
ahead.
great up to this.
Go ahead, Stan, try again.
So this is Stan. So
Okay.
the millings are
Yeah.
kind of a black color, just like the driveway. Is that correct?
The millings are the same color, yeah, basically as the driveway. In this picture, you don't see any millings. And they
that's-
harden. Okay, I can't hear anybody right now.
That's okay. No one was saying anything.
Oh, okay.
Harold, do you have any questions?
No questions here.
All right, Earl?
No, I can't imagine backing onto 169. I think you have to prevent that.
And I think Tim's with us. Tim, any questions?
Sorry I got here late. I'm really not sure where is this located?
So
I can't
there's the,
picture it.
there's the Historical Society, Tim, right there.
Yep.
Your old neighbor, Bob,
Oh,
with the pool.
oh yeah. How are the plantings
Yeah.
going?
That's coming
They're
up
up,
next.
they're there, they're smaller.
Okay.
There's a whole hedge in front of the pool.
Yeah. So I know exactly where that is. Okay. So I have no questions.
All right. Are we prepared to make a deliberation?
I am.
I am.
If we are, then I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
I will so move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Yeah.
Opposed? Abstaining? All right, public hearing's closed. Discussion?
My feeling, as flat as the property is, and so you're not looking at it going uphill or anything. And it's kind of a matching color to the driveway, kind of subdued black. I would have no problem with this.
I concur with Stan. This is Earl.
Okay.
I
Other,
concur also, Harold.
all right. And Pat and Tim, any comments?
I'm good with it.
I'm good if you're good.
Okay, then entertaining a motion to approve the application as presented.
So moved,
moved.
Earl.
Is there a second?
Stan seconds it.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstaining? Motion carried.
Okay.
All right, Bob, so you're all set. I
Okay.
will sign it and drop it off to the town hall probably Monday. And then what you'll
Monday's a
have,
holiday.
Monday's the holiday.
it'll be Tuesday then.
Oh, yeah.
And what you'll have to do is, just check with the building official to figure out if there's any other approvals that you need before you do it.
Right, right. Okay,
Very good.
okay,
Thank you.
Thank
very
you.
good. Thank you.
I hope it helps. I hope it helps. Driveways are always
Oh,
a problem.
yeah, like I said, the two big things are the
Lost 'em
safety and the tree.
Yep.
Because that tree is a landmark. That's one of the biggest copper beeches in the area, from what I understand.
Yep.
That, yeah,
So,
so
excellent.
we just don't want to. Okay.
All right, well, thank you for
Alright.
getting the
So
application,
I,
getting that all taken care of so quickly. So we appreciate it.
okay, thank,
And you're,
same to you.
oh, wait,
Thank you for taking
before
care of
you,
it so quickly.
before you head off, Bob, you do have plantings
Yeah.
around the pool. They're just, they're
Yes,
not
I
growing.
do.
They're not growing
Yeah,
very
they're not
fast.
going as fast as I would like them to, but you won't even see the pool in a couple years, because we actually planted a hedgerow right in front of it, and actually, it's in a square of hedges right now, so you won't be able to be seen from any angle except for above, like you see now. They're not in this picture, I don't believe, because this seems like an older picture, but yeah, there's definitely
This is
probably,
fairly-
like a, oh, go ahead.
This is fairly new imagery. I think this is 2020.
Yeah, so they were just put in, so you wouldn't, yeah, I mean, they're so small, you're not gonna see them right there. In fact, I've actually mowed over some myself, because we bought them small, but they are, Shay, how fast are those supposed to grow, those hedges that we planted around the pool? How fast are those hedges supposed to grow? Yeah.
I have a brown thumb, I wouldn't know.
3 feet a year.
3 feet a year? Okay. Yeah, they're supposed to grow 3 feet a year. My wife picked that out on purpose to be able to hide it quickly. So this year we planted them last year, so this is their first spring and summer, and they're all alive. So except for the one, I mowed over one the other day. Actually, I weed whacked it because just the grass pulled my string into the branch and whacked it. So
Take care of them. Take care of them and nurture them along.
yeah,
All right. Thank you, Bob.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Next on the agenda, review of minutes. Did everybody get a chance to take a squint at the minutes of April 28th? If so, if you're ready, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
I read them, I'll move to approve.
Thank you, Stan. Second,
I'll second it.
great. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, motion carried. Let's see, correspondence. I just had an inquiry from the circuit riders, just wondering what the status of the proposed demolition was. And that was all the correspondence I've had. Well, I guess you ought to also add a phone call. I had a phone call from Jamie Harrison, and I'll go into that in new business. Public comment, I don't think we have anybody. We don't have anybody for project consultations. Old business is the age-old question of reaching out to residents. It's, I think, with all the turnover in the neighborhood and all the busyness that we've had, we really need to think hard about how we can, and plus the pandemic and everybody not seeing anybody. I think it's really important that we figure out a way to reach out to our residents. I have heard via the grapevine that some of the notion, even though we thought we were relatively successful going door to door a couple of years ago, there was a certain contingency, a certain cohort of people who said, I'm not answering the door, and made sure that they were not available at that time. So I don't know.
Well,
But
I think people would be even less willing to have anyone come to their door now.
Right. So I think that over the next couple of months, it would be good if we try and do some out of the box thinking to figure out how we can reach out to the residents. I mean, we can always throw our hands up in disgust and say, okay, we're just going to go back to sending a letter out every year. But maybe we can come up with something new to try. It's different times now, so who knows? But I bring that up just to say, it's time to start thinking about that again.
Is that for residents in the district or the
Yeah,
whole town?
it's opened up to everybody, but what we need to, Tim will attest to this, that, and Harold as well, how important it is to try and stay connected to the people in the district and to make sure they remember that there's an application process and it's really easy and that we're really friendly and easy to get along with and we work with them. So, and we've tried all kinds of things from programs to, the going door to door to special, meetings in the historical society, all different kinds of things, and with mixed results. Yes.
To be honest, I think the door to door actually works the best. I mean, we've tried everything and had some very good programs, but usually the same people show up, and they're usually people that already know about the district and take an interest in it. And so we're not reaching the ones that know nothing about it or just moved into the neighborhood. So yeah, maybe some did close their doors, but I think a lot didn't. I thought that was, maybe incorporate that with something else or do a Zoom meeting or something.
And didn't we, if I recall correctly, didn't we, when we did the door to door, we sent out a letter first telling everybody we were going to do that, and we provided at the same time a copy of the application and and some basic instructions and all.
So even if they weren't there, we left something at their door, so at least they knew that they were in the historic district.
Yeah, so that covers that as we're talking about it, that reminds me that we did send out that letter to kind of give them a heads up. So that also gets the material in their hands one way or the other.
I think it's definitely important for new residents because with a few that have bought houses within the district recently, they weren't given any information from their realtors that ended up coming from neighbors. We actually have a new owner of the old headmaster's house next to me. And I spoke to him, and I know that he reached out to Gail with some questions. And I believe he was in on a previous meeting that I wasn't able to attend to. But yeah, realtors aren't passing along the info.
And nor are most previous homeowners, evidently. So
I don't understand why that wouldn't be on their disclosure thing when you sell a house.
Just because it is doesn't mean they do.
Yeah.
And
it could be in writing, but that involves people needing to read.
Well, I think, Tim, didn't we reach out to real estate agents as well and ask and remind them? We called, I think, most of a couple of years ago, most of the agents in town reminded them of the need to pass the information along.
Right.
And I think the only person I've talked to, and I think she's now passed away, was CC Cole. When she was selling a house, the person who was selling her house called and asked to confirm, but that's been it. All right, well, door to door handouts, and maybe try and come up with some way to make it a little more enticing, but it's something that maybe if the fall things are settled down, that it might be something we'll try again in the fall, and certainly next spring at the very latest. And we probably should send a letter out sometime this summer, reminding people they're in the district, because we've had a tremendous number of applications this year.
Yep.
All right. I have, and the other old business is just to cover is I have not heard back about the little trailer site pool that's on Old Hall Road. So, it's in the hands of the zoning official. And so I'm assuming that we don't have to worry about it.
No word from 599. They still haven't planted anything in front of the
They,
ramp.
no, they haven't submitted their applications. The town will not let me have any stationery. The only way that will work is if I send a letter to them and they will type what I want on their letterhead. So we're going to do it that way. But 599 has taken down one of the big gas station signs. And they've tidied up their porch and some of the stuff that was around. So
It looked better when I rode by it.
yeah, so there is a little progress happening there. So
We'll take it.
we'll take it.
Earl, was that you on that motorcycle?
Who are you asking?
Earl, do you drive an old motorcycle?
I do not.
Oh, okay. Guy looked like you drove by in a old, like 1950s redone motorcycle. I'm like, was that Earl?
I ride a bike.
Okay.
All right.
I had something I wanted to show you guys for old business. I'm going to do a share the screen again.
Okay.
So, and let's see here. So that is
Oh,
10 o'clock at night behind my barn, looking up towards the parking lot of the church at that light.
All right. I went back through I've now been back all the way to 2010 and that's everything that I have as minutes. And I can't see anything in it about that light.
Now, for my education, because I've been doing a lot of reading and stuff, and I still don't have all the info. I was talking to Gail about that earlier. But does lighting fall under us?
Yeah, we do. Lighting must be approved by us, but it also must be approved by the town. And the town has pretty strict, dark skies initiative regulations regarding the lighting. But
that doesn't even, down at the bottom where the light gets brighter, that's not even showing the actual bulb, because I tried getting a picture of that, but then it just blurred out my phone's camera. But yeah, I could walk my dogs back there without needing a flashlight.
All right.
So apparently they never took an application with us, and sounds like not the town, then we could go after them with that angle, right?
Yes. So what we would do is first inquiry, I think, would be to the Harold. Do you happen to remember any application from them for the lights?
No, I do not.
No. And Tim, what about you?
I do not either.
Okay. So the first thing would be to, I think, what do you think? You all think Evangelical Church first? They will probably say it's the Academy who installed the light.
Sorry, Gail, say that again.
I think the first thing I'll do is talk to the Evangelical Church, and then the next, and they will probably fob it off to the Academy, but we'll track there and at least request if not proof of an application, in case they have one from some time. And then, but they would have to submit an application. Also, as I'm thinking about it, it's possible that way back in the back of beyond, in terms of time, they had some kind of an application that got approved, but regulations have changed over the past several years about lighting. So it may require, maybe I should talk to the circuit riders.
So the only information I have about it is that, so they have a powerful spotlight because they put one in. I've been told that it used to be on a timer. Apparently the timer's not working because it's on all night long every day. I was told that they were concerned about when they had sporting events and kids were, walking back there or getting dropped off by the bus, that they needed lighting for safety reasons. They also mentioned that the lighting was to deter people, and that hasn't really
Done
helped
that.
with that.
Right, okay,
And I also know that they had to change the angle of the light once because of the house that's just outside the district, next to me, the driveway that goes up out back that Douglas owns.
mhm,
That it really shined right on their house, and they even changed the angle of it once.
Right.
That's all the info I've got.
okay. So at this point,
Oh, and sorry, the new owners of the old headmaster's house, I've talked to them, and they actually brought it up that they actually have to close all of their shades on that side of their house at night. So,
Oh, there's gotta be like more smaller lights or something that
yeah,
doesn't just act like the sun for.
right.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with sporting events with the academy now, because this was, when that reason was told to me, that was before they had purchased the other campus. And I'm not positive about this, but I haven't seen kids really needing to go back there from sporting events. Normally it's right over at the academy.
Well, there was a whole, they had they had come in and talked to us about building or expanding the barn back there.
I
to
remember
be-
that. That was a while ago, yeah.
yeah, to be a big basketball court.
An indoor basketball court, yeah.
big-
The
kind of
youth
a-
center.
Another field house type thing. And that never came about. All right. I can go forth and pursue it. Patrick, can you email me that photo, please?
Yes, I can.
Good. All right. Let's see, I need to get back to my screen.
Yeah, hold on.
Thanks.
There we are.
Find my. All right. So does anybody else have any old business?
Not I.
New business. Couple of things. Jamie Harrison called because he discovered that the historical marker that was one of the historical markers that was placed by the Tercentenary Committee back in 1986, that is in that little triangular grassy spot at 169 and Old Hall Road. There was evidently a Pulpit Rock Road Tercentenary marker placed there, that metal one, and it has disappeared. So he wanted to, I think he was just reaching out to a number of entities to see if somebody would take it upon themselves to do something about it. And he's also talked to the town. So I just said I would bring it up and make sure that we were aware of the fact that it has disappeared. There's a couple of big gouged out tire tracks there. So I have a feeling maybe somebody took it out by accident.
Purpose for the metal?
I think he didn't, it's not bronze.
Oh,
It's what is it? Sort of more like pot metal that's been painted, that was, greened up to make it look a little bit like something.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but it's anyway, but he said he found the old paperwork and that the things cost about $500.
oh, really?
Anyway, but at the moment, so he took it to the town, and because there's no Tercentenary Committee or anything, we'll we'll mention it at the Historical Society at the next meeting that they have, but I'm not sure.
Well, if we had a police department, he could talk to them, but
And I don't think, I'm not sure. I don't know if the town is gonna do anything about it. I also don't know if, or, Jamie might decide that he wants to try and get a group together to raise some money to replace it.
Yep.
So I'm just mentioning it so that it goes on the record as it's something that's within the district and it's disappeared, so.
okay.
Then Crystal Adams, who's works with the town in the selectman's office, has emailed to say that it looks like as of June 30th, then the town, unless conditions change, the town is going to start offering the option of in-person meetings. They'll be all remote through June, but then after that, they can continue to be Zoom. They can be a hybrid with some people in person and others Zoom, or they can all be in person. If they are in person, then they're only going to happen in the big meeting room in the basement. She said the HVAC system that's in that room is relatively new. She thinks within 3 to 5 years. There are 4 fan coils in the ceiling. There are no HEPA filters in the system, but it does bring air in from an outside unit, and we are allowed to open windows during the meeting. If we do meet, then social distancing will be practiced. Those who have not been vaccinated will be required to wear masks, and those who have been vaccinated have the option of not wearing masks. The ductwork in the building was thoroughly cleaned last year by a company that specializes in that type of work. So she wanted every commission to query its members to see, just so that the town would get a sense of just how comfortable everybody is with the idea of in-person meetings.
I'm vaccinated and I don't mind going to a meeting.
I'm vaccinated, I'm fine with it.
I've had both shots myself, so I'm all set.
I'm fine to go.
Earl's okay, Harold's okay. Tim's gonna be relaxing on his boat.
I'm okay.
Tim's okay with it, okay. And I'm the only one who's not. At least it may change, but I've got someone at home who a common cold would wipe them out. So even though I've been vaccinated, the reality is that the slightest possibility of anything is huge.
Yep.
Is huge in my case. And because of conditions and not knowing immunity levels and all, because of physical conditions, I have to be, until somehow we find out differently. We've been told to be super, super careful. So I think we'll go the hybrid, potentially we'll go the hybrid route.
What's easier? Is it easier just to continue to do the Zoom than doing the hybrid?
It would probably be much easier just to continue like this rather than trying to break it up, because then we have we have people coming in, and then who knows, will they mask, will they not mask, what's what, so.
I'm fine to continue the Zoom meetings. I mean, I don't
Okay,
mind either way.
all right.
Well, I am too, and it's going to be a bigger and bigger problem nationally, I think. how you prove you've been vaccinated.
Right.
People are doing counterfeit
Yeah.
doohickeys and all that stuff, so.
Well, and you actually can't require somebody to show it. My guess is any town entity cannot ask for proof of vaccination. You just have to go on the honor system.
Gross.
All right, then I'll get back to her that it looks like Zoom is going to be the best option for a while, and I appreciate everybody's willingness to be flexible on that.
We like Jeff too.
Yeah, I'd like to have him stay around as long as possible. And we had a couple of tricky, let's just say some worrisome moments over the past year, so
Hmm.
I'm working hard on keeping it going. Let's see. So that's all I had for new business. Oh, the other piece of new business is we have now officially gone over our budget in terms of applications and legal notices. We've never had so many in 1 year. We're probably going to have another one in June, I would guess, the way things have been going. So we're not spending any money on anything. The fiscal year ends at the end of June, and then we'll be into the new budget year. But we got a mild reprimand for going over the budget in terms of legal notices.
Not really within our control, is it?
It is not. And I think we kept about the same number for the coming fiscal year. So, but I worked with the Norwich Bulletin to figure out a way to get the cost dramatically reduced by being economical, very, very economical in the wording, and still be able to meet the regulations that we have to follow. So I think we with any luck, we'll be okay.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Okay,
When is the next meeting?
The next meeting, which will be Tim's last, will be the 23rd of June.
Okay.
Is
Six-
Karen Ola still interested in?
Yes.
Okay.
She was so she is an official alternate member. And she was flying, she was in the air tonight. So she
That's
said
good.
she thought possibly if she was needed, she could connect, but I said, no, that's okay. We can handle it.
Zoom from the air.
Yeah. So, yes,
well, I doubt that I'll be able to make that meeting, so it'll be good if she can help make a quorum.
good.
Okay,
Other than that, that's all I have.
all right, 7:30, not bad.
I move we adjourn.
A second.
Second.
All at once.
Aye.
Harold and then everybody.
Everybody all in favor? Aye, yes.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, everybody.
Aye.
Have a good, safe
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
Yep.